Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome to Gheyforgames top 10 weapons in Dark Souls.
Yep.
So we're going to start this off at number 10 right away with the Iato.
This is one of the katana class weapons, and it's a really great all-round weapon.
Yeah, it's probably the best katana due to the fact that it's just got such a good moveset. I mean, if you don't want to put the points in, you can go for the Uchi katana as a sort of alternative.
Yeah, it is the alternative.
But the Iato just has that heavy attack, is great. I've got a few notes here actually as to why, because I forgot that I had the much more detailed top 10 sheet. So the notes we've got here is that it's quick and easy, it inflicts bleed.
It's got a decent attack.
It's got a very good moveset. It's got the best scaling of any of the katanas, which is A scaling index, and the best path. Technically, the best path for it is enchanted, unless you're using some sort of it's an intelligence build. Make it enchanted unless you're using crystal magic weapon, in which case use it. So that's the parry animation. But yeah, the Iato is probably the best katana. And this is some PvP with the Iato.
Yeah, the Iato's really good in PvP. Like, some of these weapons are maybe slightly more PvE oriented, but you can get a really good combo with katana based weapons. And
yeah, I don't think katanas deflect that well off of medium shields either. They seem to have very little deflection.
Yeah, I think that is actually a thing.
Yeah, because he's blocking and you're just chopping through him there.
Yeah, not only that, the running attack for katanas are amazing. So next up we've got the Shoal, which is a dex sort of curved sword class weapon. Now it's got a fairly standard moveset for the class of weapons that it's in.
It's essentially the falchion moveset, really.
Yeah, I mean that is pretty much
but it. But the heavy attack is different because the heavy attack actually utilises the hook on it and gets around shields.
Yeah, so essentially that's why the Shoal makes it into the top 10. The fact that it gets around shields is really great for some enemies in PvE, but this is a more PvP oriented weapon.
Yeah, and especially if they're using a build that has no poison, you can ignore their shield, you're going to stun lock them for days.
Yeah.
Plus its moveset is pretty good.
It attacks scaling really quickly as well.
Scaling is good.
Its scaling is average. Its attack and scaling are average.
I think it's good dex scale.
But the thing is, its attacks are so quick, and the fact that it gets behind shields, you can really do a decent
that's why I say it's got good scaling. The scaling needs to be low to compensate for the fact that it gets behind shields. But other than that, I think its scaling's really good for its use.
So here's an example of
very
the
good.
Shoal.
Even have it in your offhand is a very good utility weapon.
Yeah, I mean that's mainly the reason why you would use this. There's some more examples in later PvP videos, but here we go. You'll see that the guy's got his shield up and bang, just straight through it, and we kill him that way.
And now it's time for the Obsidian Sword.
This is a really great weapon, much like the Claymore. Although the Claymore attacks slightly faster than it and has slightly better stats for usage.
This will do more damage, however.
This is probably more PvE oriented, but it's pretty good in PvP due to its R2 attack. This one here having a pretty decent range.
Yeah, that right there, the second thing was to show you the buff. If you go back and look at the difference between that, you'll see the first attack done about 500 and the second one hit for about 700 on the same style of enemy, wearing the exact same armor and stuff like that. So what that means is the special attack, the explosion from it, also gets buff damage applied to it as well.
That's true.
So that means that if you're in a bit of a sticky situation, say a 2v1 or 3v1, and you've buffed this sword because you can, say crystal magic weaponed it or something like that,
you've got to do a lot of
and you
damage.
just go boom. If you hit even one of them, you're going to hit them for at least 700 or 800. This weapon has no scaling because it's a dragon weapon. It's just got very high base damage off the start, and its requirements are I think
for the kind of weapon it is.
I mean, for its effects and its use, its requirements are great, only at 20 strength and 16 dex. It's only a small step up from like the Claymore and the halberd, and it is similar to the Claymore in many ways, other than
so in some builds this can really be a great weapon to use.
Yep, weapon buff builds is perfect. And next up on our list...
No, we've still got PvP.
Oh, we've still got PvP for this?
Yeah, so in the PvP, as you can see, it is a totally buffable weapon, and the fact that it has a similar to Claymore moveset means that you can use the superior running attacks to get behind shields.
Yeah, the 360 running attack is fucking immense.
Now it's got a good stun lock on it,
as do most great swords, to be fair, that have horizontal swings. Take the Moonlight Sword, for example.
Not only this, yeah, exactly. But not only this, I mean, you'd think that the R2 attack is really impossible to get off in PvP, but its range is surprisingly large. So yeah, we might have died there, but you know, there's...
He only escaped with a teeny bit of health out of that fight though.
Yeah.
He had like a tiny amount of health. We did get footage for the Moonlights. Oh no, wait, that's the weapons master build. Yeah, never mind.
No, it's for the it's for the Claymore.
Is it?
Yeah. So the next weapon we have is the
Silver Knight Spear.
Now this is probably a slightly more advanced weapon in regards to like the kind of players that would use it.
Yeah, it is a lot harder to use than most other weapons, but I mean the vertical combo and the horizontal swing that you get with the heavy attack, the rolling attack, stuff like that, it does have a really good moveset. Its damage is a little low, but you need to think in terms of you can attack while blocking, and you have more reach than any other spear in the game, besides maybe the Dragon Slayer spear having about the same.
No, it's not that. It's
Moonlight.
The Demon Spear has slightly more than it, and that's it. Maybe. But I mean, the range is absolutely great. You can really keep your opponent at a distance. And the fact that you can just poke them multiple times in quick succession makes it
even while they're attacking
a good amount of damage.
Even while they're attacking you, every time they go for an attack, that's your opportunity to just boom,
poke.
Yeah.
And again, with a really robust moveset, as opposed to the other spears, really, it's a really great choice.
Yeah, a really good way to use this would be pick a primary weapon that you're really comfortable with, that is really good, that has close to the same requirements as the spear, so you'll be able to use both of them. And what to do is when you're on the offense, use your strongest weapon, and then when they start bringing the heat down on you, what you do is as soon as you get a chance to switch weapon, you switch to the spear, and then while you're on the back foot blocking, you just poke away.
Exactly.
The spear, I wouldn't use this as a primary weapon. I would use this as a sort of utility-based weapon.
So you can see the spear here is in PvP, and
is this the guy that heals all the time?
Yeah, it is.
That I end up. Did we not end up still killing him anyway?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we did. Was this not when you gave up and were just like gonna go kill him?
Yeah, I might have.
So, yeah, because this was me that was on the sticks. This is me that was on the controls.
But
I'm
you can see that
when
you get a guy, like, you can just poke them multiple times in quick succession. Not only that, normally if you hit someone, they move back slightly, so you can't just continuously hit people forever.
But the spear's range is that good; it doesn't even matter.
Exactly. So here you can see using the Shoal as an offhanded weapon there. But again, the guy just keeps going for it. But the spear has such great range that you can just poke.
It only allowed him to heal the once, which was really helpful. Because I mean, if we had any other weapon, he would have got 2 Estus in at least, and that would have been him back up at more or less full health. But he stopped at halfway. So next up on our list, Lucerne. Lucy.
Probably the best PvE weapon, or one of the best PvE weapons in the game.
Yeah, Lucerne is fantastic. For those of you who love the halberd, Lucerne's a good bit of a step up because it does more damage, because all its damage is thrust, which is piercing, which means 9 times out of 10 the lowest armor stat on everyone is going to be, well, the lowest physical armor stat on anyone is going to be their thrusting armor, because armors are incredibly weak to it, except the chain armor. The chain armor's strongest as its thrust because it's chain link.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it stops piercing.
But yeah, another great thing about the Lucerne is the fact that it does have slightly less requirements, and although it lacks the range of the Gargoyle's halberd, we still prefer it just for the fact that it gets the bonus from the Leo ring.
Yeah, you'll see the bonus from the Leo ring coming through.
It's hard to really know, because the amount of damage that you do is slightly erratic, or at least what we were doing. But
yeah,
basically, if you can do counter damage to an opponent, which is basically hitting them as they're attacking,
you hit them for about 900 with the Leo ring with a Lucerne at lightning +5. The first hit was I think it could have just been a counter.
Now, Lucerne is a really difficult weapon to use in PvP.
Yeah.
Now you might be thinking, so why are you in the top 10 then? Well, despite the fact that it's hard to use, when you do get good at using it, it is such a great weapon. It's really reliable, and like its moveset is great, really.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a weapon that you need to be good at using, but then that kind of comes with everything. Almost.
Yeah, look, the rolling attack is fantastic. If you roll the same way that they're rolling, and
the rolling attack is absolutely amazing. Not only that, obviously if your opponent's coming in for an offensive move and you use the R2 attack, like the two-handed R2 attack, you're going to hit them twice. It's really good in that sense. So I mean, it's all about timing and stuff, and the Lucerne can really pay off once you know what you're doing with it.
But yeah, Lucerne definitely is up there, mainly for PvE, but it's good in PvP. And next we have my favourite weapon in the game, the Boulder Side Sword. Boulder Swag.
This weapon has a lot of advantages just simply for the fact of how unbelievably robust it is.
Yeah, its moveset is a longsword moveset, but that R2, the heavy attack, is immense.
The R2 is amazing for both PvE and PvP. It has
Its
such great
entire
lunging
moveset is
range,
great.
does great amounts of damage, it's so quick. The fact that, you know, obviously it can still be buffed along with all of this
If you
stuff.
make a dex build that has some sort of spellblade in it, like Int or Faith, and you want it for PvE, it doesn't matter. Even if you get invaded, the Baldur's Side Sword is so reliable, so robust, so versatile that if you get invaded, you don't even have to worry about it. You can take on everyone.
It's true.
The Baldur's Side Sword has probably one of my favourite. It's probably got the best moveset in the game, in my opinion.
Obviously, we find that there's still weapons better than it, but in terms of just sheer usability, the Baldur's Side Sword is really great.
For versatility and just for reliability, I love the Baldur's Sword.
So, I mean, the running attack there, you can see is amazing. Like, honestly,
full
the
moveset
Baldur's
is
Side Sword
amazing.
really is great. And you can see it's really useful in PvP, just the fact you can run in, you can do the jab attacks, it's just...
Have your Shoal on the offhand like we do, just in case they start to get a little shit. There you go, there, perfect use of the R2 right there.
Exactly.
And now the Gold Tracer, loved and loathed by many.
In some ways, one of the more broken weapons in the game.
My notes that I have on it
lacks-
for why we picked it is quite simply fucking ridiculous, is the only note I have about this, is it's fucking ridiculous. It's got an auxiliary effect, its attacks are incredibly quick. It does, however, look incredibly elegant. I love the look of the moveset. It's like such a showboater's moveset, it's unreal. Its requirements are kind of high though. You need to have 20 dex to use it. It does have short range, to be fair, but if you get in close, I mean, look at the stamina usage that I'm going through right here. I'm going through 3 or 4 heavy attacks before I run out of stamina.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it's more than enough, because it's got how much? What is the build up for again? I think it's 20 or 30 per strike is the build up on its auxiliary effects.
I think it's actually, I think it's got like 50 build up, and
It doesn't. That's only Priscilla's dagger has 50 build up.
Now, the issue with the Gold Tracer is the fact that it does so much bleed damage. When you bleed, it does 50 bleed, which means it does 50% of your total health.
It does, but it's only got 20 or 30 bleed.
No, it's got a huge build up as well.
It's not. It's the only one that has 50 bleed build up. Is
now we can see here, coming against
this
this guy, and you'll see the damage just spike unbelievably. Now the issue is the fact,
there you go.
right there,
from
done.
400 to 1000, that was half the health in bleed. This guy is almost dead.
The fact that it attacks so quickly, and the fact that it does so much bleed damage is
broke.
Essentially why it takes
And now
the spot it does.
number 3, the bronze
Claymore.
medal goes to the Claymore.
The Claymore
It's
is just
obvious why.
obviously the Baldur's Side Sword is incredibly robust and useful, but the Claymore is just a slightly slower, more damage, even more useful version of it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say its moveset isn't as useful, but its moveset is...
No, the moveset
For
is
that
better.
weapon, for the Claymore, its moveset is perfect. It's got a perfect fitting moveset. I don't know, it's not the best moveset, but its moveset works absolutely perfectly for the weapon. The rolling attack, the running attack, all of it is great.
The one-handed R2 attack.
Yeah, that stab is amazing. That stab also benefits from the Leo ring, by the way. Just in case you do want to use it for the Claymore, but that is the only attack that can use it, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, the Claymore is a great weapon. I mean, its moveset's great, its
Low
damage
requirements.
is great. Yeah, 16 strength, 12 dex, same as the halberd.
Average
It weighs,
scaling. So you can see here just how robust the moveset is. Really, the running attack right there is amazing. You just run up to your opponent, you do the running attack, it gets behind their guard.
Also with the Claymore, the step back and the running attack are the same, so if you get in close, you can just step back and immediately bounce into the running attack instead of giving your opponent the time to notice you running.
True. There, you just seen the stab attack being used there.
The rolling attack
Into
benefits from the Leo ring as well, by the way. Well, the two-handed rolling attack does, because that's the jab.
And you've got the rolling attack there, and then that can then be comboed into the R1 attack, and then the swing, it's got great range, it's perfect.
It's amazing.
So,
and this is the Moonlight Sword as an alternate. This is me on the sticks. I am good with the Moonlight Sword.
Now, the Moonlight Sword would essentially, if you're using an int build, then you want to be using this over the Claymore simply because of that attack there.
Yeah.
Now, here we go. This is probably got the most insanely bullshit moveset of any weapon in the game.
Right, now let me put it simple how we felt about this. The large club immediately took second after we seen the heavy attack once.
Yeah.
The large club took second immediately. A few reasons why. Ridiculous range. The large club has good damage. It has an auxiliary poison effect.
It can be buffed.
It can be buffed.
A scaling and strength.
A scaling and strength, and also the fact during the heavy attack dash you've got invincibility frames. Yes, it's essentially like you rolling and getting a free hit.
So not only do you get the invincibility frames, it also has numerous other attacks. The fact that its attacks are actually quite fast for being a club type weapon. So you've got all this, and then finally you have its rolling attack, which in PvP is incredible, which you will soon see here.
Yeah.
Oh, and another thing, its jumping attacks flatten.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's the rolling attack, the exact same as the Claymore.
Now the thing with the rolling attack is, what you can do is you can roll and use the rolling attack. If it doesn't hit your opponent, you can then roll again to where they are, and then just keep doing it. And you can just keep doing that until they die. It's literally like, and it's almost unblockable because the rolling attack gets behind blocks. And the fact that you're rolling means that they can't hit you when you know as you're rolling. So it's
also, as soon as you come out the roll and you point a direction to hit the rolling attack in, you take a quick step forward as well. So if you roll towards your opponent, you're just at a range. When you hit forward and R1 onto them, you dash into them to do the rolling attack.
And here we are. This weapon needs almost no introduction because it is just simply the best, most broken weapon in the game. It doesn't even have that robust a moveset, but it just has unbelievable scaling.
It's got that
crazy
move,
damage,
and that's it.
And it has a two-handed R2 attack, which is just fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really good weapon. It's got good scaling, to be fair. It's got, I think it stops at A scaling and Dex plus 15. Its best path for scaling really is occult. I believe it gets to an A in faith on occult scaling.
But really, you want to
really
just keep.
good.
You just want to go up normal plus 15.
You want plus
and then buff
15.
the shit out of it.
Plus 15. Buff it with gold pine resin. Buff it with fire resin. Buff it with crystal magic weapons, sunlight blade, whatever you want. Just do it.
And finally, it has the most incredible running attack in the game. It has so much range. It has so much speed. And it's so difficult to block, and you can just be so aggressive with it.
Also, the scythe has an incredible dead angle as well.
That as well.
Same as the Claymore, same as the large club, that if you dash past your opponent, there's still a good chance you'll hit them even though they're behind you. So
here we are.
It's great.
It's
and
in
here's
PvP.
PvP.
You'll see here me using the dash attack, like right there, although I did miss him, but
the heavy attack follows up.
Exactly.
Successful hit, 700 damage. Boom, right on target. Now we're using the lightning scythe just because this was a build that we made to use all the weapons at once, so it was just good strength, good dex.
But even the lightning scythe is amazing. And then finally the scythe does bleed damage.
Oh yeah, don't forget about the bleed damage. But yeah, that's our top 10 weapons, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you feel the same, I suppose.
Hope you enjoyed it, and we hope it might have swayed your decisions.
See you guys later.
See you guys.